Good morning. Hey, Ark. Good morning. Thanks for giving me. Hi, guys. We're gonna wait a couple of minutes to see who else comes in this morning. Got noises going on everywhere. I hope this camera angle is okay. I'm still trying to play with it a little bit. How's the hair? Um, I won't show you the mess I've got back here. So I hope everyone's is good this morning. Happy Valentine's Day. I've got anxiety like crazy today. I don't know why, to be honest. It just for some reason just really caught me. So I got all kinds of sounds today. So hey Dylan, good morning. How are you? Can you be a mod? Well, Dylan, I'll have to get to know you a little bit more before I make any more mods. So if you come in and hang out and I can see that you're active, then we'll look at doing that. So, but good morning, welcome in. I hope you're well today. Thanks for stopping in. Stevie Lee, good morning. Happy Valentine's Day. Good morning, all. Thank you for coming. I hope you're all well. I feel like I'm not all together this morning. Hey, Stevie Lee, how's your getting fit journey going? I just was wondering how that was. Coffee, needless to say, it's Friday. So, how's everybody else? So we're going to wait a few more minutes and then we'll get started here. So while I'm still here, I'm here, but let me do something real quick while I'm doing it. So, okay. So bear with me here just a second. Okay. All right. That is taken care of. So hopefully that will. Okay, there we go. Hey. No, you've been, okay. I've heard the flu's been going around a lot over there. We've got it here too. We've got, it's for us, it's crazy weather. So, which, it's all over the place. I've not felt good the last couple of nights and stuff. So, I think it's just, our change in weather starting. So, but that's okay. You'll get back to it. I have no doubt. So you will be amazing at it. And it's hard. I get that. It's hard to take that journey. I know I was probably, I would say I probably was 100 pounds heavier when I got here to Australia. And that was 20, well, Phil and I have been married 19 years as our from the anniversary. And I was heavier, easily 100 pounds heavier. I've lost 60 pounds. I've got 40 to go. I haven't documented it, and I think maybe I need to. I'm going to do the city to bay. Sinus infection. Oh, yeah. Hate sinus infections because your nasal cavities hurt. And but you're on meds, and that's the good thing. So you want to get healthy there. So yeah, get healthy. We're gonna wait a couple of more minutes, and then we'll get started. Hopefully, we'll get some other stragglers coming in. So I'm still gonna have one quick look at something else here just to see. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Myers and the Mouse and Just Our Dream have gone live, which I didn't realize, but we'll make the best of it, you know? So. So, okay, I say so a lot. I think it's kind of a nervous thing to do. I had to watch that with writing and writing my books. I had to figure out how to not use the word "and." So, but yeah, we'll give it like so. We'll give it another couple. See who else hops in. So I can sew. Can you? Oh, thanks, Stevie Lee. So, yeah, I didn't. I should have checked. I could have held off and slotted in after them. I didn't even realize that they go live on Thursday nights. I'm gonna have to look at that time and squeeze in. Oh, for you guys who are watching the replay, didn't know Corey is not streaming tonight. He and Taylor and Lily have the flu. So big hugs and love to Corey. That hope they get better soon and can stream next week. So we are sending our best wishes out to them. Thanks, Stevie Lee. Yeah, I went live and then saw they popped up. So that was an oops on my part. Well, we'll get through here. So now, books, as you can see in the title, I talked about books. I've written 3 books, and towards the end of the stream, I'm going to tell you how you can download the books on Kindle for free. Yeah, you heard me say that, for free. So I started writing as a project. Well, when Phil had his accident, in 2008, I started writing to have something to do to get my opinion out to whatever. And it just kind of took off on its own and went from there. And I started doing it's as my daughter calls it, it's life experience with chicken soup for the soul. So I guess that's the best way to describe it. So I took the blogs all, picked out some of the ones that I really liked, popped them in a book and put it out there just to kind of see what happens. So that is the first book. Again, I apologize for the anxiety. It's just, I woke up this morning and I'm like this, and the stomach's and nuts and everything else. But I can pop on and talk to you guys, not a problem. But so here I am having a freak out. So here's the question: is the name of the first book? And I am going to pull it up here. And so I'm get it open here. You guys can see. Hopefully you can see this. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Okay, there we go. It was there. Okay, I'll wait for it to come back. Hopefully it will come back. Was that too close? Focus. Focus. There we go. It's this book right here. Well, there's all 3 of my books, but we're going to talk about this one called Here's the Question. So it was just more of I want to say life experience, but it was also finding my way. I needed a job. I needed to do something, and that's why I'm flicking through here as I'm talking to you. So because I didn't pull up the one I wanted. So, okay. I'm a knitter, which you guys will see more about eventually. And so this one is called Life in Knitting. I'll read you part. I'll read you the blog. Handmade gifts from one generation to another. Picture a skein of wool and a pair of knitting needles or a crochet hook. If you're a knitter or a crocheter, your mind starts running with all the ideas you could create with those simple items. I can remember growing up that mom and dad both did amazing things with yarns, or wool as we Aussies call it. Mom was always knitting and had this great slipper pattern. I wish I could find it again. The slippers seemed to last forever, and boy, were they warm. Mom told me the story of how dad came to crochet. She said, I bought a magazine learning to crochet with some yarn and a hook. I brought it home to try, and your dad actually picked it up and ran with it. You know what kind of work he could do, so the rest is history. The work that dad did was beyond amazing. I wish I was half the crocheter he was. And it was just, you couldn't, yeah, dad would get asked to do these intricate designs. There was a yarn shop where they'd call him and go, hey, Gene, can you do a repair? And dad would do the repair and it looked like it was the blanket. So dad, who was a real perfectionist, would do the most amazing and unique work. If he found a mistake, he would rip it out and correct it, then work his way back to where the entire yarn was crocheted back up. Here, dad would get calls from yarn shops where they lived asking him to stop, pick up a repair job. By the time dad finished, you never knew there was a problem. I've been able to turn my love of knitting and crocheting into a business of its own. When I still lived in the U.S., people would hire me to create. Oh, it's hard, but if you hit the right websites that you can learn to do it. Is that crochet or knit, Stevie Lee? I've been able to lost my spot. When I lived in the U.S., people would hire me to create wool or yarn project for them that they wanted to give as a gift. They couldn't knit or crochet, but they knew what they wanted. After a consult with my customer, it was time to go to work. I had many returning customers and a great little business going on. I started Cricket Road through wool projects to help me finish those that have been sitting for years. When I turned 50, I tried my best to rally throughout that year for anything and everything new to challenge myself, to try and help me remember why I love knitting and crochet. It also helped me in learning new elements of knit and crochet. I stepped outside my comfort zone, and I've even made some video diaries. In 2 years on my blog, Cricket Through Wool Projects, I take a look at how my love of knitting and crochet came from my parents. When I turned 50, I made it a year-long project to learn all I can, new projects and new stitches. Even today, I look at the videos and patterns I can try to find for the perfect project. I take my love of knitting and look at how we knit together and crochet through our life, looking at each element of knitting, how the choices of what yarn you use or a pattern you can pick will make a big difference. It's if you go, there's 2 websites I'm going to recommend. And ARC, I'm sorry I did not give you these links. One of them is Crochet Crowd, thecrochetcrowd.com. Mikey's got really basic how-to videos in there. And then there's, you know what? It just replied, Stevie Lee, I'll get you that other link. Hang on a minute, guys. It's warm in here. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Yeah. Hang on a minute. We're talking about crochet, Stevie Lee. Okay, I'm not sure how this is going to go. All right, we're going to pop the camera down for this one. I think it'll be easier. So, okay, we're going on a move here. Okay. There you go. That's my newest project. Just starting. So I'm doing popcorn stitches here. Let me see if I can focus. Got X's here. Cross it. I would have never known how to do that without watching the crochet crowd. And then the popcorn stitch here. So it's I really need to get this done because it needs delivered soon, and it's not ready to go. So okay. There I think we need it back on. There we go. Okay, there we go. Normally I'd be able to sit here and crochet and talk to you, but I gotta pay attention to this pattern. So that was so I learned to me that's therapy. That's therapeutic. I love doing that. And maybe on another stream we'll do that. Part of the reason why I call this Here's the Question is some of the blogs that I've written, I leave a question at the end. And on this one in the section where I talked to where I read the one about the knitting, here's the question: what handmade generation gifts are you leaving behind? Just to give you a question to think about. What are you leaving what are you leaving for somebody who's, what do you want to leave in the world? What mark do you want to leave? What do you want to leave behind that people are going to go, oh, that was Stevie Lee. That's all, or that's art. That's Archangel. I'll always look at that and know that's Archangel. So that's I write about my Ohio State bucket list. I have a college bucket list, but what's on your bucket list? What are some of the things that and I talk about celebrating milestones and things, good thing, positive things. One of the blogs in here is called Saying Understand and Really Meaning It. We've had some friends who have had losses of late, and what do you say? That's the hardest thing of all, is what do you say to them? What do you when my dad died, which is a lot where this blog is related to, people would go, oh, I understand what you're going through. And I had to ask that. It got me to thinking, do you really understand what I'm going through? Have you lost a parent? Do you know what that's like? And I finally kind of figured out that I think people say that because they don't know what to say. And that's a big thing. You've lost, a parent or a loved one. What do you say to them? We've been in situations where it's been the loss of a spouse. And Phil's experienced that because his first wife passed away. And we've had that recently. We've had two friends who have lost their spouses. And I wouldn't know what to say, but Phil would. Unfortunately, as they say, Phil's got the t-shirt to prove it. And you really hate, you hate hearing that. You hate hearing of loss, period. But Phil's the one that can understand the grieving, understand, we had this one friend who had just lost his wife. He had written something on Facebook, and I asked Phil, I said, is that the grief talking? And he said, yeah, that's what it is. But this, in this particular blog, I'm going to read you a paragraph from the blog. I'll be the first one to admit I'm so guilty of this one, saying all the polite things. Do we say what I call the polite thing because it's what our parents taught us? never having the courage to just put yourself out there and be human. It is really scary to be human and show that we are honest in caring we need the most. Are we really afraid to be vulnerable and too proud to ask for help? Guilty. How many of us are too proud to ask for help? Plain and simple. I'll be the first one to say that. Maybe all that person needs at the time is someone to have a genuine interest in how they're coping. Have we gotten too busy and self-absorbed that we don't care anymore? We show up at the funeral or wake or whatever the event to be seen at just the right place at the right time. What's wrong with just showing up for support, hanging out in case you need it? Maybe that's all they need, just to know that you're there. They can look around the room and see you. I know it's a lot to hang out at a wake or a viewing, but at times stability is the one thing that could be needed the most. Been there, done that. What do you do? What do you say? Yeah. It is. It's hard to ask for help, and it's a pride thing. It's being human. I do that the other day to ask for some help, and I had to write it. And I knew this person would know how difficult it was for me to write it, but it's just, I think we're afraid to be vulnerable. We're all stoic and we're proud and we can say, yes, I can do this and everything like that. I'm going to adjust my camera a little bit. But then, we need to just go, hey, I need help. And I'm just as guilty, I will admit to that. There we go. When Phil gets down, Phil has been diagnosed. Okay, here we go. Phil has been diagnosed with emphysema, stage 1. And we knew it was coming, but we got there. We got through the diagnosis, and now we manage it. And it's I'm going. There we go. It's hard at times. I cry a lot on my own, and I don't do it in front of him, just because I don't want to. I don't want him to feel guilty, and that's my own thing. He knows I'm vulnerable. He's seen me fall apart. Hey, Kate Atwood, welcome in. We are talking about my first book. So I hope you're well. Yeah, I've written 3 books, but we're talking about one. It's called Here's the Question. Yeah, it is. It's hard to be vulnerable, and it's scary. You're human. And I'm that way. I won't. There are just, you guys will notice in Josh and Jenna's streams and stuff, I have just said of Phil's health challenges. Oh, he had pneumonia last June, and that's when the full diagnosis came. And it was tough, and it is tough. But now we manage it, and Phil's feisty, and he will not be a statistic, and those were his words. We take a day at a time. Like today, it's going to wind up being a rest day because he's waking up with it being a little hard to breathe for him. So that's all right. We'll do what we need to, and that's the rest of the day. So, when my dad's funeral hit, it was overwhelming to say the least. But my cousin Tori was just there, if I needed a hug or whatever, and that helped. The question I left at the end of that was, how much do we really understand? And I choose my words. I choose my words. In that situation, if it's a loss of a parent, I will say something to the effect of, I understand how you feel because my dad died. And then that way that gives them a little bit of, oh yeah, oh, okay. If it's somebody who's lost a spouse, I don't understand what you're going through, but I'm sorry for your loss. And like I said, this is just me. This is just what I've chosen to, how I've chosen to go about it. And there have been times afterwards where I've sat down with people who have said, oh, I remember you've lost your dad. How do you feel? What are you going through? Like I said, Phil's been chatting with me. His wife passed away. She had MS. And he's, I've been kind of worried about some of these Facebook posts, but Phil has said, no, he's okay, he's grieving, he's talking about it, and that's what we want him to do. And which I'm like, okay, no. So I'm going to read you this one, and then, yeah, sorry for the tears. This one's called A Lesson in Life. I've had friends who have had to deal with passing of close friends and family of late. I'd offer my sympathies to them, but I felt like I needed to give them words of comfort or love. I originally read this in April of last year, but it's time to share it again. I got taught a really good lesson in life and what changed my thinking about getting up and starting my day. My day usually started with making coffee and toast, feeding the cats. How did something so simple change your thinking and give you a whole new perspective? What do you do when the only thing you want to do is have a real chat with this person and they passed away? Here's why I'm asking. Last Friday in Australia, I got word that a person I considered a close mate passed away. We all knew eventually it would happen, but not this fast. We were all stunned that the events were taking place. I'd actually lost track of time. What hurt the most was the loss of being able to have a real conversation. Sorry, guys. Sitting in the same room and just talking about everything and nothing. What do you do when this person taught you something so simple and it's changed your life and now you can't even tell them? Gary shared with me that he had never really stopped to look at the sunrise. He was so busy with school, kids, and everything. He never really taken the time to look at the wonder of it all. Getting sick, he started looking at the wonder and beauty of God's creation and how he could learn to deal with what the day would bring. He learned that as the sun was coming up, and if he was still watching, it reminded him that God gave him one more day to walk the earth. But he also figured out that he would just give you what you could handle for the day. When the sun went down, it was time to stop and relax, not worry about it anymore because you couldn't control it. Bill always told me why you didn't cross off the to-do list. That's why you start tomorrow. Worry about it when the sun comes up the next day. I've even gotten to the point where it's just okay to watch TV. I never really looked at a sunrise like that. Just taking the time to thank God for being on the earth one more day. Just to say, I can handle whatever comes up in the course of the day. I've never really taken the time to watch the sun up, to see it so dark before the sky begins to light, to hear the birds sing, and to hear the darkness, to see the darkness go away. For that few minutes, everything is really okay. How is everything supposed to be okay when I know that my friend would eventually become a guardian angel of my life? That was the biggest question I wrestled with those most mornings after Gary's passing. As the saying goes, life goes on. Everyone who knew Gary still trying to get on with things, find that new normal after someone who has left us leaves a hole in our life that is needing closed. With Gary, I don't think that hole will ever be fully closed. There was always a little glimmer of shining light through all the lives he touched. So here's my question. When do you really stop and look at the sunrise? Okay. I didn't expect that to affect me that way. Oh. But I started looking at the sunrises, and that was that changed. That was because I'd worry all evening, oh, I didn't get this done or that done or whatever. And it was tough. So I had to go, it's okay. I taught myself that when the sun goes down and it's dark, the day's done. There's nothing more you can do. You can't change it. You can't fix it. You can't do whatever. It's over and done with. That's your time. That's where you need to start taking care of you. Get your batteries recharged. Come back the next day and attack it again. As I was reading to you, take that to-do list and whatever you didn't get done, stick it up at the top and start again. And there have been a lot of days where post-it note is full of the list, and I will thanks, Art. I will just go at it again. Because what else can you do? But just take them with you. That was something at the end of Stepmom. I don't know how many of you have seen the movie Stepmom, where she's talking to the kids and she says, take me with you when you go to, when you get married, and when you have babies, and when you do all these life adventures, take them with you. And that keeps their memory going. I'll post on my Instagram, Ark, it's not there, but I'll post the picture where there was a friend from Channel 10 in Columbus, Ohio. He was a weather reporter, and he died from cancer. And I brought him to the football. And I'll show you that picture. I'll put that on my Instagram. And so you can see. And it's just simple things like that. Just take a picture. Take them with you. I have pictures of a couple of friends who have passed, and they're on my Instagram, or they're on my photos, and I will post them to Instagram. Just so family can see, to say, hey, I haven't forgot you. Oh, okay, we're going to take a breather a minute, just because that's heavy duty, and let's lighten the load here, shall we? I'm flicking through here to see. Yeah, let's talk about movies for a second. Okay, because I wrote a blog called The Wow Moment in the Middle of the Movie. And do you have, thanks, yeah, thanks, Sark, that's my Instagram. I'll put, after the stream's over, I'll find that photograph and post that on Instagram so you can see. Hey, Amy, good morning. Welcome in. Thanks for coming. We're just talking about one of my books. I've written 3 books. So we're talking about a little bit about the first book. And if you'll see going across the corner in the banner at the bottom, that is my website. And that's going to come into play when we tell you how this weekend, starting on the 15th, you'll be able to do something involving that website. Movies. Let's go back. Let's talk about movies. I love movies. We have the movie channel here. I've always watching movies or comfort movies. What's your comfort movie? At the moment, I've downloaded Field of Dreams. That speech that James Earl Jones gives, that, if you build it, he will come. That speech. I sobbed the first time that speech was on. That was just a wow moment. Vin Scully, who used to announce for the Dodgers, has done that speech, and that speech is amazing to hear him do it, and his kind of twist on it. It was, yeah. I will find that link and I'll put it in the show notes so you guys can go and listen to that speech. One of the movies I love is called Eat, Pray, Love with Julia Roberts, and it's a true story from Liz Gilbert. Looking up my notes here. She took a year-long journey to figure out life and just how to be happy. And there was a moment in there to where she had to forgive herself. And I so totally get that, because I got divorced from the girl's dad and I moved over here. When I met Phil and I, it's Valentine's Day, so I'm gonna time out on the book thing for a minute. For those of you who don't know, and I haven't shared this with a lot of people, Phil and I, and it's Valentine's Day. So Phil and I are the product of an internet romance. We met when MSN had chat rooms, and that was how long ago? I've been here. I came in 2000, and it's 2020, so 20 years ago they had chat rooms. So I came. October is my October 1st is my anniversary of arriving in Australia. I came the day the Olympics closed. So Art, that'll give you a real time stamp about when I got here. Oh, Phil, and that's when Ansett, that's an old airline from here. That's when Ansett was still around. I'll never forget this guy at Ansett. His name was Gary. And he worked out the ticket. I don't know what he did, but he got it down as cheap as possible to help me get to Adelaide. And when I got off the plane, I walked down the step across the tarmac. Never done that before. Oh, the gentleman I was sitting next to on the plane said, "Oh, you're going to do your makeup and stuff." I went, "Nah, he gets me like I am." And Phil didn't care. Oh, 3 days later, we were down at the beach and it started raining and Phil proposed again, which I thought was pretty romantic, you know, getting proposed to in the rain at the beach. Yeah, so in January, we had to wait a little bit longer because my divorce from the girl's dad, there was a hiccup in getting it processed. And so we got married in January, January 10th of 01. So our wedding anniversary is binary. So for to write it, basically it's 011001, which looks really weird. Let's see if I can do that. If that will let me do that. There you go. Because that's what our wedding anniversary looks like. I should have muted that. Sorry. So, getting back to the movie, I had to forgive myself. I'm sure, you know, I tried to do everything wrong to try to reconnect with the girls, and I was in a bad spot, and I needed to take care of me before I could be a mom again. And I didn't talk to the girls for like 6 months, which was hard. Oh, bear with me, guys. I will be right back. I'm going to go grab my puffer. Thanks, guys, for that. Oh. Oh, I think it's the weather today, and it plays up my asthma, so it's like really kind of ick, you know. So, but in getting back to Eat, Pray, Love, she had this wow moment when she had to forgive herself and like that. And when I saw that, I'm like, well, that's what I have to do with the girls. I have to forgive myself and like go and build a better relationship with them. But I had to do it on their terms. And when I did that, that was great. Everything, we're actually better now than we were then. And I've got 2 grandbabies now to get home to visit. I'm flicking. Olympics is coming up this summer. Yes, give me a little cough. Yeah, it's not the communal coffee. Um, where the Olympics is this summer. Uh, so where were you when great moments happened? What do you guys remember about the Olympics and special things that happened? When the Miracle on Ice, when the U.S. Um, won the gold medal in Lake Placid, I remember that Friday night. I'd heard the news that we'd beaten the Russians in hockey, and I'm like, nah, that can't be. That's wrong. But the game come on, we turned it on, and it was like, oh my gosh, they've actually done it. This is getting serious. So on Sunday was the gold medal game. We had to beat the Russians to get to the gold medal game, and we did. So we got to Sunday, and I know exactly where I was. I was at home at mom and dad's. I was in the kitchen doing dishes, and I had the game on. I had the hockey game on the TV, and it kept ticking down, and I had to stop. And all of a sudden, Al Michael screams, "Do you believe in miracles?" And time went out, and everybody went nuts, and yeah, that's where I was. Um, well, I learned about cricket, the game, not me, the game, when Steve Waugh and all that group were playing, and he was just ready to get 10,000 runs, I think. And I told Phyllis, no, I said, well, we have to hear it. I have to hear it. And we were in the parking lot. It's not the Bunnings down, but we were in the parking lot of a Bunnings down on Port Road when that happened. I had to listen to it, and I knew it was recording at home. So I was there to say I was there when. I'm just flicking through here. Yeah, what's in your backyard? Okay, and I can hear you guys all going, well, there's this and there's that. Okay. This is another blog I'm gonna read to you, and it's asking that question, what's in your backyard? Growing up, we would take drives around America and Ohio, where I'm from. Even though we'd always follow a map, we'd get where we wanted. Every so often, we'd see a billboard or a sign for a place which looked interesting to check it out. Okay, Kay, not a problem. So off the beaten path we would go, not really knowing what we would find. Some little shop with produce from the area, a mom and pop diner with good food and a nice walk, a touristy place representing the area. I think it was the unknown of what we would find that was a big intrigue of the adventure. Some of my best early photographs came from those trips. I think that's when I started loving landscape photography. Living in Elizabeth, this is before we moved to where we are now. We have the Barossa Valley immediately in our backyard. So during the warm months, Bill and I head up there looking for new vineyards that we've never heard of before. One day we stopped at Penfolds Wine, and they told us about Maggie Beer's restaurant and the outlet she had. She's one of Australia's top chefs. Wonderful earthy food, great recipes, and you can actually eat your way through her shop. We'll do a video on that sometime. Go up to Maggie Beer's and we'll take you shopping. Instead of shopping with Jen, we'll be shopping with Cricket and Phil. She has produce out for you to taste. The shop is set on a beautiful lake. You can sit outside during the summer and have a meal. Maggie has birds on display, and you can walk through and take pictures. If it wasn't for the ladies at Bedfolds, we'd have never known. And our last trip up there, we actually got to see Maggie. Further east of my backyard is the mighty Murray River, which is a great grape, citrus, and stone fruit growing area. Stone fruit is peaches. So it's got the middle, it's got the seed in the middle. That's a stone fruit, what they call a stone fruit here. The most notable establishment is Berry Wines and Fruit Juices. It's a shame to have seen what has happened to this once great thriving fruit producing area. With the end of the drought, they're starting to climb their way to the top where they belong. West of my front yard is the Gulf of St. Vincent, which has great fishing for those who love to drop a line. It's also the main source of crop growing area in my yard. Out in the north 40 of my yard are market gardens growing everything from potatoes to pumpkins, tomatoes, sweet corn. Further north to that is grazing and grain growing area, along with the Clare Valley wine region. Keep going north and you'll hit the opal mines of Cooper PD. As you keep wandering in my backyard, you come across Sydney in the eastern half, Hobart to the far southeast, Darwin to the north, Perth to the west, and out there somewhere in the backyard, you'll come across Canberra. As far as the east you can go is the coast to our favorite destination to hide out for a week or two, Bateman's Bay in South Wales. Bateman's Bay was one of the areas hard hit from the fires that we just recently went through on the coast. We all have that city that we love to hate, and that's Central of Australia. That city is southeast corner among the bamboo patches, which Phil is trying to kill. It's called Melbourne. As you can see, there's much to explore from tropical Darwin and northern Queensland to the snowfields of the Great Dividing Ranges and deserts of the Northern Territory, Western Australia. A boat ride across the ditch, as we say here, gets you to the rainforest of Tasmania. There's so much to see and do depending on your choices that you make. Anything from a day trip with lunch in the cooler to packing the caravan, filling the petrol tank, and just going. So here's the question: what's in your backyard? I hope you'll take a think about that one. To be interested in your own city. Here they're having something at the moment. It's called the hashtag. It's called book them out. Book them out. I think it's called, and it's just getting into vacation in your own backyard, because that's what these places who were affected by the fires are going to need the most. And now the floods, it is how to try to get them going again. I'm going to be doing the City to Bay in September, 200 and some days. So we'll take you on that journey as much as we can. I'm going to leave it at that on that particular book, because I actually want you guys to read it. Again, it's as you said, I have secret books, and with this website ticking at the bottom, that'll get you there. The second book is called Dear Coach Walsh, and that is, I'm still learning my camera angles here. Whoa, I did not mean to throw up my Twitter there. Sorry about that. Okay. Is Dear Coach Walsh is this one. This one right here. And that was, Art, you'll remember this. We had a new coach, Phil Walsh, who just had arrived at the club, just getting her season going. Got to game number 8, getting ready for game number 9, and in drug-fueled events. It came out later, but Coach Walsh was killed by his son. He was unmedicated, and to be honest, I don't remember the circumstances as to why things had happened, but we woke up to the news. Phil and I were still in bed, and the stepson called. He was at work. He says, "You need to turn the news on," and told us what had happened. And I'm shaking Phil to get him awake, to tell him what had happened. And that's the day football stopped. At least how we knew it. And yeah, it was that day calling friends who heard the news, leaving messages, which I hated doing, especially with news like that. It was shock. There was a memorial starting at Westlakes, where the boys trained. But we'd go down to 2 in the morning and there'd be people there. It was trying to, um, even to this day, it's still hard to talk about. And it's been 5 years. Um, no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't discriminate. Um, and we were supposed to play that weekend, and we didn't. Which thank goodness for that, because the boys couldn't have done it. Um, there was a memorial at Atlanta Oak. We were welcomers at St. Peter's Cathedral, which is right there at the Oval. And if you want to know why it's called the Cathedral, and that's because of St. Peter's. Um, so we were to welcome, and we got there, and on the pulpit up front is our 2 scarves, one Port Adelaide, one Adelaide Crows, because Coach Walsh had been for both at both teams. So we walked over to the Oval for the memorial service, and it was eerie. You saw, not only Crows, Gertrude, you saw Hawthorne, Geelong, and Sydney, and it didn't matter what team you buried for. And this particular day, everybody was, this is just being vulnerable kids. It's therapeutic. So there was a couple of minutes silence, but it was like even the ghost of the Oval knew what was going on, and they blew the horn, and there was this big ripple of applause around the Oval, and you could go out onto Adelaide Oval and have a kick, and we met up with friends out on the Oval. It did. They came together. It didn't matter who you played for. It didn't matter. It could have been any coach, any team. And that next weekend, on Friday night, it was Hawthorne and Collingwood play, and all the players gathered in the center around the center where the balls bounced. And they stood, it was a Collingwood player, Hawthorne, and Collingwood, all the way around. Anyway, you get the idea. Good morning, Phil. Yep, we do fly as one. I don't think we ever fully recovered from it. I think we just figured out how to get on with it. The job wasn't done. And so, yeah, so dear Coach Walsh, I'm going to just say grab some tissues because you'll need them. That started out because I needed to put into words how I was feeling, and I would post them online, and I've been stopped by people who said, oh my gosh, you just said in this last entry, that's exactly how I feel. How did you know? And I just told myself, because I feel the same way. So I read it as a series of letters. I have a blog called The 19th Floor, and that's kind of where it comes from. So, yeah. I didn't know that still hurt as much as it did. It does. Oh, okay, let's have a breather here, guys. Again, if you're new and just kind of watching, thank you so much for stopping in. My name's Cricket. We hang out on Fridays. We have coffee. We talk about the crappy stuff. We talk about the good stuff. It's Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone out there. Honey, I love you. Happy Valentine's Day. I think we're going to go out and just go for a walk. And I'm just, that's our thing today. We're going to hang out. All right. You said I've 3 books. Let's talk about the third one. The third book I wrote as a challenge to myself to really step outside the comfort zone. And boy, did I. I love baseball, as you guys will find out the baseball season starting. And it's called Bridgeport Watts, and it's written from a view of a character I created named Madison, and I am Madison in the book. My favorite baseball player was Jake Peavy as a pitcher. Jake's retired, which makes me kind of sad because I miss watching him pitch. But it will be, I can always pull up these games on YouTube and watch him that way. So I always wanted a birthday tweet from Jake. I never got it, but that was all right. I still get to watch him pitch. And he is the hero in the book. So creating characters, creating a plot line, writing, speaking was all new to me. I had no idea what I was doing. So let's see, I'll show you. I'll show you the book cover, which is this one. But the book cover that you see here, the book cover that you're gonna see are different because I had to change it thanks to Amazon and their infinite wisdom. Now, here's part of the secret I'm going to tell you about this book. And I'll explain everything at the end of the stream, but you really want to get this book because this book is going, this copy of this particular story is going away. And I'll explain why here after we've talked about this, after we've talked about Bridgeport Wives. I did it under my pen name, but it's going to come back under my real name. It was talk about a learning trip. Chapter 1. This is, and I have to thank Judy, and I know Phil's in the chat. I know Judy be laughing if she heard me. Judy come up with the title for this first. Hey, Mike Wheeler, welcome in, buddy. How are you, mate? I hope you're doing well. Thanks for stopping in. Really appreciate you popping in to say hey. Everybody say hi to Mike. Mike's everywhere. We love Mike. Mike's amazing. Mike, I've been talking about my books. Happy Valentine's Day, by the way. Hopefully you can. You know what, Mike? You've given me a challenge for an audiobook to how to get these on audiobooks so people can listen. Anyway, back to the book. We're talking about my third book, which is a romantic comedy called Bridgeport Wives. And I have to thank Judy for the first chapter. Chapter 1 title is "Oh my God, look at those dirty sheets." And that is Judy. That is, I love her for giving me that title. And that is how the whole book started out. I had to create characters, create backgrounds of characters. I made all the decisions about what did I want them to do, what do I want them not to do. I've never created dialogue before. Um, it it was lots of people. Yes, there would be lots of people. So I think I might adjust my time here a little bit, but this works out good for me. So we're just gonna go with it. For those of you who are in, Corey is not streaming tonight. Corey and the girls have the flu, so he will be back next week. If you guys did not see his tweet or his Facebook message. So again, Corey, Matt, love ya. I'm gonna read part of this to you just to give you an idea. Chapter Bridgeport Wives, Chapter 1. Oh my God, look at those dirty sheets. I wish the room would stop spinning. I can't see. As I tried to figure out where the hell I was. My gut told me this was going to be the hangover for the ages. I remember wearing my contacts last night as I stumbled to the bathroom. I kicked the damn chair in the corner. How many times I have broken my toe on that stupid chair. Limping to the bathroom, I finally found the bottle of saline, got my contacts freshened up enough to get them out. I found my glasses. Getting them on, I looked at the mirror and thought, that must have been one hell of a party. My hair all over, mascara giving me raccoon eyes. I had no clue what color lipstick I was wearing. It wasn't mine. Madison, what the hell are you doing to yourself? First order of business was extremely large amounts of water for the massive headache I had. Dehydration was winning, and I needed to fight back. Driving would be the challenge, to say the least. Hopping in the shower, trying to get my hair washed. I can't believe how many bobby pins are in my head. I washed my face, and after some time directly under the massage head, I started to feel sort of human again. Alcohol 1, Madison 0. Yeah, so that was the journey. Just writing this book was just a journey in itself to go through all the rewrites and having people go, hey, would you read this for me? Tell me what you think. Help me edit. Phil read it. Cindy, one of my sorority sisters, read it. Dan helped me edit. It's a big journey for it. It took me 6 years to the original after all the rewrites and everything. But that's why I said it's going to go away, because I'm going to pull it. I'm going to give it a rewrite, freshen it up, get a little more descriptive. I don't want to lose the plot or anything. And I'm going to rebrand it and come back and put it out there again. So that is the history of my writing, so to speak. Also on my website, you can go to my blogs and you'll see the website getting reworked also along the way. Okay, I told you a secret book. Secret books. Okay, Arc, are you ready? Because here we go. I'm going to tell you, starting on the 15th of February, and it's at midnight Pacific Standard Time. I did not do the time conversion. So for me, I have to add 12, 13, 14. This is midnight, noon, about 2 o'clock my time, give or take. So it'll be whatever time probably by the time you guys get up on the 15th. You should be able to click on the links that Mike is going to put up. You have to follow the links to get to the books. You can pick anyone to download. You can download all 3 of them. It's entirely up to you what you want to do. But those 3 are going to be free on Amazon for 5 days, starting on the 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th of February. And after the 19th, they will go off. And after the 19th is when Bridgeport Wives will go away. So, that is why it was a super secret book giveaway. So if you watch in the chat, Mike, not Mike Wheeler, Art. So so Arc is going to pop up the 3 links, so you can click on any one of those links, like I said, and get 1 book, 2 books, or all 3 of them. So this, and I put my heart and soul into them. It's they're labors of love. I don't write a lot after I get done, and Phil will tell you at times I'm impossible to live with. So that that is that's books. That's the book side of my writing. And we've laughed today, we've cried today, we've coughed our way through it. So any questions? So we can do a Q&A here for a couple. If you guys have got any questions that you want to ask, or I can answer. Oh yeah, we are going live on Sunday. It's Sunday for me, Saturday night for you guys. Roughly around 11 a.m. my time. It'll probably be overnight for you guys. It'll be there probably when you wake up. We have a new part of the freeway opening, so we're going to the what they call the community day to have a look at that and stuff. So I'll be there. Phil will be with me. We'll be showing you what's going on. Hopefully getting to look at some of the road and everything. And Mike has no worries, Mike Wheeler. Thank you so much for stopping in. And you can always hit the replay and catch up on everything. So thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. And the other thing too, guys, if you want to head straight for the website, cricketscornerofboss.com, Arc has posted a link, and that will take you. And if you click on the books, go to page 3, that will take you straight to the books. And you can go from there. So Sunday, we're going to be live for the community day. We're talking about a second stream on Sunday, but I don't want to talk too much about that yet, because I want to make sure it's going to happen. So we'll kind of leave it there for the time being on that one. I'm going to breathe for a second. Yeah, I'm breathing here. Oh, anyway, thank you. I can't thank you guys enough. Art, thank you. You're amazing. I love you to bits. I threw him a curve, and he handled it well. So he's my amazing mind. So I appreciate him heaps. Stevie Lee, thank you. Amy was here. Thank you. Kay was here listening. Thank you. We'll definitely do coffee next Friday. I don't know what we're going to talk about yet. We might do that as a Q&A on Friday. So I will watch my Instagram. Arc, can you pop up my Instagram again, please? I'll put a thread in Instagram and get you guys to leave me some questions. We'll do that next week. We'll do a Q&A next week. And we'll answer some questions about life here in Australia, kids, grandkids, crocheting, knitting, whatever you guys want to ask. And I need to look for a photograph too. There is a photo with Phil and a wild kangaroo. I'm going to see if I can find that photograph, and I'll tell you that story next week. If I can't find it, I'll still tell you the story next week. Anyway, again, guys, thank you so much. There you go. Happy Valentine's Day. Again, everyone, thank you so much. There's my Instagram. Thanks, Art. I'll put a thread up on Instagram. Send me some questions. We'll have a chat next week. I don't know a definite time next week, but we'll figure something out. And who knows, I might even surprise you with the stream next week. So anyway, have an amazing Valentine's Day, guys. Mwah. Love you to bits. Thank you, Ark, for all your help. And again, hop over, grab those books after midnight on the 15th Standard Time. It'll be probably about 2 in the afternoon, Australia time. Please, if you're watching the replay, hit the subscribe and like button. I would love you if you would do that. And that will also tell me you watched the stream and figured out how to get the free books. So thanks again, guys. I love you guys. Phil, I'll see you shortly. Thanks again, everybody. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.